Can't believe how quiet it is. So today I'm back in the northwest of England and I'm standing next to the Howeswater Reservoir. I was just on my way down to where I'm going to leave the car for the night because of course I'm in this area to see another bothy. However, when I saw this view from the road, I was like, that is where I've got to start the intro to this video. It is very, very peaceful, very, very beautiful. The water level is quite low. It has revealed some of the old Mosedale village that used to be here by the looks of it. You do seem to be able to see, you know, evidence of some walls, and on the other side there what looks like a bit of a road that used to lead into the village. I did also stop and look at the dam on the way down here. It is quite an impressive structure, but sadly I wasn't able to get access to it and walk across as I have done on some previous videos. It's all locked up, so it must be deemed to be too dangerous for the public. Anyway, as I said, I'm here to see another bothy, so I'm going to get down to the car park, get my gear on, and we better start the hike. Let's go. Another honesty box for parking, which is really cool. So that's two bothies on the trot now where I found an honesty box, and they only asked £2, which is crazy. They could honestly charge a fortune to park here because it's a very busy little spot. It is actually the end of August, it's the bank holiday weekend, so it's bound to be busy in this part of the world. Quite a lot of cars everywhere. And I've had to wait for the opportunity to film because there was just so many people coming and going. I do get a bit embarrassed filming in front of people, so I've just been hanging around for like 20 minutes waiting for them all to go. Anyway, I'm going to get my pack on, get on that trail and start marching out to the bothy. Let's go. So I'm on the trail. Just got to say, I didn't have the best start to the day. I woke up feeling a bit ill and a bit weak. Not sure if it was something I ate. Definitely felt a bit woozy. Never had any alcohol last night. Actually had a good night's sleep, so I don't know what's happened. But I decided to leave anyway. I had everything packed and I didn't want to miss out on the bothy trip. So the track is going up and up and up, basically between these two hills, and the bothy is going to be sort of to the left, over in that direction, the other side of the hill. But it's not a short walk. It's going to take, I don't know, best part of an hour I'd imagine. I mightn't be surprised. I keep getting pulled backwards by my heavy pack. So I'm quite high now and this view is mental. And I just met a couple on the way down and they said I've still got quite a way to go before it starts going back down into the valley again. Yeah, this is pretty much like climbing the mountain trail on Ben Nevis. It's harsh, much harsher than I thought it would be. I've just had to put all my gear down. I've got a Mars bar waiting to go there because I need some energy. But apart from just catching my breath for a minute, I had to have a look at this stunning view behind me. It's amazing. The path is going to carry on up around there, and it's going to be a steady elevation, I think, from what the couple just told me. That's quite a high hill, and the bothy is the other side of that. I'm going to be pretty grateful when we start going down again. Haven't gone much further. Did need another break. It is ridiculously steep, but if you can see just behind me there, that looks like it's the brow of the hill. Hopefully it's going to level out or go down from that point. What I can't believe though is the village of Mosedale, that used to be where the reservoir is now, they weren't allowed to bury their dead in their own church until the early 1700s. So up until that point they had to carry their dead to a place called Shap, which is 5 miles from here, but obviously over this terrain. Now I don't know if this is the path or if the path is somewhere else along here, but it was called the Corpse Road, and corpse roads were quite common apparently. Not everyone was able to bury their dead in their own village, and therefore had to carry the body miles to the nearest place that could, which is crazy. So yeah, there's me complaining about a 22 kilo backpack when these people had to carry a body way over this big hill here to a village 5 miles away. And in the end, all of the bodies that were allowed to be buried at Mosedale Church after 1735 were eventually moved to Shap Abbey anyway, because the village got demolished in the early 1930s to make way for the reservoir. And as you can imagine, a lot of these corpse roads do have ghost stories attached to them, although I couldn't find any specifically about this one. So as always, the brow of the hill seems to be a bit of a mirage that keeps moving as you get closer to it. Now I've got into my stride, I feel alright. I obviously have had to have another break because that's just sensible, carrying all that weight. But let's face it, if I had my head down all the way to the top, even if I was fit enough, I would miss this incredible view. I mean, look at that, it's amazing. Just got to go over there now, which looks much more level, and as you can see, we're almost as high as these peaks now, these ones either side. You can just about see the hill on the other side of the valley there, so we are almost there. Okay, I'm at the top of the path, about to head back down again into the next valley. There is a sign just there that said Mosedale Head was 1 mile away, which is where I parked the car. So we're about to head down, and I think, now I've made this mistake before, so I will probably correct myself, but I think the Bothy is just the other side of the hill there. I'm hoping that it will become visible the closer we get. From the pictures I've seen, it's pretty much the only spot out there with a cluster of trees. So as soon as I see a cluster of trees, that's where the Bothy is. So I'm coming down into the next valley now, and look at this view. You can see for miles, much further than you could the other side. That is where I think I've got to go. You can see a kind of trail there, and I really wasn't expecting to have to go uphill again in potentially boggy conditions. Anyway, we've got to get down to the bottom here of the path and then divert onto all the boggy stuff, and I hope it's not that bad. Okay, it's become apparent that I've made a big mistake. Now, when I was researching where to leave the car, I found that you could either leave your car by a small reservoir, which is the other side of the Bothy, or down in Mosedale Head where I have. And when I looked at the satellite images, this looked like the shorter route. Now, I was a bit surprised by how steep it was to get up and over and down into the valley again. I'm even more surprised to find out that I've got to go up and over that through all of this grass. I knew it was going to be boggy. I was not expecting that kind of elevation. So that's a big surprise. When I looked at the satellite image, it looked like a nice neat track all the way down from Mosedale. And then when I got to this kind of oval shaped ruin, follow the track up by the water, which I'm going to do still, but I did not anticipate having to climb up there and back down again. I thought that was going to be an open valley all the way through. Got my gaiters on, ready to go through all that long boggy stuff. Don't want to get any passengers along the way, i.e. ticks. So this looks like a trail, and it doesn't look that bad. If it's like this all the way out to the Bothy, I'm going to be very pleased. Here's the boggy stuff. I'm just going to come across this periodically, I think, but hopefully there'll be some nice stuff in between. Even so, this isn't that squidgy, and there are big rocks you can kind of stepping stone on. So yeah, there we go. And it's become a little bit of a trail again. Good. Now I've made it to my first break point. I decided when I saw this big stone that was going to be it. But I've managed to get from there to here in 10 minutes, which was hard work, but I made it. The only dilemma I got now is, seems to be a path going that way and one that crosses the stream going that way. As long as they both head in that direction, I think either would be fine, but that looks like the more well-trodden one. So I'm going to take that one. And hopefully when we get over the top of there, I'll be able to see the cluster of trees where the Bothy is. Whew. That was scary. So I took the trail, the other side of the stream that looked more well-trodden, and then found myself like kind of facing that fence and saw somewhere to get through it there. So I'm like, okay, I didn't take the right path, but I can just cut across here. Big mistake. I literally just went through that up to my knees. Over my knees. It was very tough to pull myself out, and in a way I'm glad that I had my big sleeping mat, because that kind of acted as like a buoyancy aid. I could lay it on the bog or wherever it was and kind of crawl out. Wow, I've never had that before. For a moment there I thought I was going up to my neck, and I don't know what I'd have done if that had happened. I've learned a lesson there. If you're going to detour from the path, always make sure that it's hard underfoot before you go. That was pretty scary. I got away with it though. Well, that gate definitely looks like progress, so let's get going. You'd never believe it, but all the way out here in the middle of nowhere, I just came across someone coming the other way. He said he just had a look around the Bothy, but he's just out here hiking. He said nobody's there. So this could be another night alone in a Bothy. I didn't expect it to be, because it's bank holiday weekend. It's kind of like the last weekend before all the kids go back to school after their summer holidays. So I thought it'd be really busy everywhere. I think most of the cars down in that car park were people walking their dogs down by the reservoir and stuff. Anyway, he said that he did come from the Mosedale Reservoir, which was the other one I was looking at, and he said it's a pretty level walk. And he said the bogs weren't that bad either. Well, it's been pretty level for the last kind of 10 minutes, and I can see some trees, so I'm hoping that that is going to be our Bothy. There's a little bit of white that looks like a chimney. Oh my god, this probably is the most happy I've been to see a Bothy after the hiking. It's mad how that very small cluster of trees there is surrounding the Bothy in this vast expanse of pretty much nothing. What is that place doing there? It's so crazy. So we're getting close to the Bothy now, just about to round the corner and we should see it. It looks like all of the trees are enclosed behind a fence, so it's almost like a garden. I wonder if that was the original borders of the property. Look at this. This place is something else. I knew it was gonna be quite big, but this is mad. Wow, that's mad. Look at this place, crazy. Mosedale Cottage. It's literally in the middle of nowhere. How could anyone have lived here? That's insane. Obviously hill farming in these areas was prevalent back in the 1800s. And this place was first found mentioned in the census in 1851. And I think it was listed as a shepherd's cottage, and several different families lived here until 1930-ish. Anyway, let's go and have a look. It's amazing. Look at this. This must have been their yard. I know the guy said no one's home, but let's have a look. Oh wow. Oh, it's pretty dark in here, but look at this. This is, oh, a nice creaking door. Lovely big living area. This is huge. Several doors off of the main room, leading to what I assume are bedrooms. So let's put my gear down and we'll have a proper look. So I've got my pack off. I'm very hungry. I'm gonna have to cook soon. But while it's daylight still, I'm gonna have a look around the place. Nice big fat wood burner. I've seen that same model in a few Bothys now. Doesn't look like it's in terrible condition. Hopefully that'll be nice and efficient. That's somewhere I can hang my wet clothes now. That's the view from the main kind of living room. So we'll check out this first room on the left. So you've got kind of a, oh my goodness, there's another room as well. Wow, this is just incredible. So that's 4 bedrooms, or at least 4 rooms. Now that one is a better view. Yeah, whoever had this bedroom had the best view. Look at that, you could easily sleep, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 people on that in this one room alone. It's nice and tidy. No rubbish under the bunk. I like that. Let's walk through into this one. Someone's left a sleeping mat and a sleeping bag and a pillow here, which is worrying. I wonder if someone's staying here. They might be, you know. Someone may actually live here. Nobody under the bunk. Evidence of an old fireplace there. That's quite cool. Mad. Oh yeah, it's hollow. So yeah, there's something in there that's been walled up. Right. So let's have a look at this one. Now this one definitely doesn't look like a bunking area. I'd say it's more like a cooking area, food preparation area. That's all stone though. Not incredibly hygienic to cook food on. Still, interesting little room. Right, so the last room has got kind of a bunk bed. So yeah, you could get, I don't know, 2 people on there comfortably, 4 at a push. Mad. Nice little ladder there to get up. It wouldn't be too difficult to bang your head on that though. Yeah, you'd have to be careful if you were sleeping on the top bunk. Right. Some outbuildings. Let's see if we can get into them. Now this one has got a padlock there and they've made it bolt cutter proof. So I should imagine there's equipment in there that the Mountain Bothy Association have left for when they come and do maintenance and stuff, and they just don't want it to get stolen. But this one opens. Aha! Wow. We've got a creepy alleyway. So yeah, this obviously isn't an original wall. So again, don't know what's in there. Possibly equipment. But we've come out into a little lane behind the cottage and into the back garden. It's quite wild. I should imagine there's lots of mice living in there. So that could also mean that mice can get in the Bothy. It's very likely, I should imagine. And what we got here? That just looks like somewhere where they've chucked a load of stuff. I'm looking at the names now. Lock and... was that Bing or Bingo, possibly? Maybe the end of the sign's missing. So yeah, I think these were like pony stables or something. And again, there's just some stuff in there that is waiting to be got rid of, I think. Right, so we've got one final door here. This is not a public toilet, residents use only. Hilarious. So, is it a toilet then? I guess, oh, what? I thought that was a joke. It really isn't a public toilet. Well, who are the residents then? Well, that's strange. And there is one more kind of lean-to there, also padlocked. Now, I was under the impression that there was a composting toilet here, and I'm very confused about why it's locked. Now, I'm very glad that I bought some spare socks and some dry trousers, because my feet are absolutely soaked. Yeah, they're a bit of a mess. So I've just got to give the floor a little bit of a sweep, because now I'm wearing my socks and I can't wear my shoes until they're dried out, which probably isn't going to be tonight, to be honest. I don't want to be walking around on this floor in my socks in the dark later and potentially stand on something sharp or dangerous. So I'm going to go around the floor now, make sure it's all swept up, and then I'm going to set up and start cooking my food, because I am starving. Sauce in there now, tomato and chilli, and it's simmering away nicely with the mince, and the pasta is just boiling off, and hopefully it's going to turn out just right. Now, while the dinner's finishing up, I'll just show you, I chose to sleep in this back room here because I really don't want to sleep on the floor in this place. I found lots of holes around the edges where mice could get in, and like I say, there's a big field out the back where plenty of them probably live. So yeah, I've got on the bottom bunk there, I've got my stuff ready, I swept out the floor a little bit. Can't do much about this damaged floor here, I'm just going to have to try not to step in it. The sound in the bedroom is much better, but that room there is just so big and cavernous that the sound is just bouncing off all four corners. And yeah, it sounds like I'm in a cave or something. But yeah, that's where I'm going to sleep tonight, because it's the only room that really opens out into this living area. So once the wood burners go in, hopefully this space will be quite warm, and that warmth will get into where I'm sleeping as well. So the dinner's done, and here's the big reveal. It almost doesn't actually fit on the plate, but look at it, it's piping hot, there's some cheese just melting over the top of it. And I am going to enjoy this, I tell you now. However, it's very dark. It's actually getting late. I haven't eaten this late for a long time, but I really didn't anticipate getting here as late as I did. Anyway, that's enough talking, I'm starving. So I would like to wander around out here in the dark, as I normally do. I can't really venture out too far, because my boots are soaking wet, don't forget. And I'm standing on a little stone there. I've just started the fire. Hopefully they will dry out by the morning enough so that they're comfortable at least. But I don't think they're going to be dry in the next couple of hours. So yeah, a wander around out here in the dark is sadly not going to happen, I don't think. This chair is not against the wall anymore, and it was when I came in. Now I did sweep up, but I only swept where I knew I was going to walk. I didn't move the chair, I'm fairly certain of it. So that's kind of freaked me out. Since I've been here, the only time I went out was to go through the little alleyway, out into the back garden and then back again. And I didn't notice if it was there when I came back in again or not. But yeah, that's pretty strange. Fairly sure I didn't move it, but somehow it's in a different place. I'm going to put the chair back against the wall and it damn well better stay there. And then I think I'm going to have a little wander around with a torch, just in case anyone did sneak in when I went out into the back garden, because I haven't checked the room since I came back. Right, so put this back against the wall, stay there. Let's check this. Yep, nothing out here. Next one. Now this is where we saw the sleeping bag, which thankfully still doesn't have anyone in it. Oh, nobody under there, nobody behind the door. You just never know. Oh. Yep, nobody in here. So, these shoes are still absolutely soaking wet. They're still going to be damp in the morning, I should imagine. So there's no way I'm going to be able to put them on and go for a wander outside. So let's just have a little look out the door and see what it looks like by torchlight. Shut the door to keep the bugs out. It's so quiet. Let's just look for these stepping stones. I mean, the grass isn't exactly wet, but it's a bit damp. Should be able to make it to that one there. There we go. We can have a little look at the place by torchlight. Can't believe how quiet it is. Oh, there's a big... Just noticed a horseshoe sticking out the wall. So yeah, I can't really give you a sort of long shot of the place in the dark, but not without traipsing out there in all the long stuff in my socks, which I really don't want to do. It's pretty dark now as well. So I think I'm just going to go back inside now and stay there. Probably going to go to sleep soon, to be honest. There we go. Anyhow, I thought I'd have a look at the Bothy book, but yet again, it's an example of one that's fallen to pieces. But it turns out this Bothy book's been here for like 10 years. Most of the entries in there are from 2015 to 2016. And the only one I can find that's recent is someone has added a little piece of paper. It's got 11th of August, 13th of August, 15th of August, and the 18th of August was the last entry on this little slip of paper. Doesn't mean that was the last person to stay here, of course. Who knows how many people have been here, because this book is full up. People have used every last, inch of it to write on, and people are even adding, their own slips of paper now to record their stay, which is a real shame. So I looked through a few of the stories in the Bothy book. Most of them were saying what a wonderful place this was. I did find some jokers talking about footprints on the ceiling and demons, and don't go out after 11 o'clock was mentioned. I don't intend to go out after 11 o'clock anyway. Can't see any footprints on the ceiling, so yeah, hopefully that was just some guys having a bit of a laugh. So yeah, you can see the bedroom behind me now. It's looking very inviting. I'm going to set the trail cam, see if it catches any mice, put the candles out, and then call it a night. So that's nice and secure in the corner there, unless a mouse pushes it over. Okay, I've climbed into my sleeping bag and I'm about to put the lights out, and hopefully I'll get a good night's sleep. I'm really, really tired, so I hope I do, because I've got to do all of that climbing again tomorrow to get back to the car. Anyway, hopefully nothing will happen during the night. As always, I will turn the camera on and let you know about it if it does. So yeah, good night. So it's 4:45 in the morning. Yes, it is a silly time to get up, but I went to bed about 10:30, slept for a couple of hours, woke up, drifted off again, slept for another couple of hours, and then the third time I woke up, I just started thinking, well, there's only an hour and a half before the sun comes up and my boots are wet and all this kind of stuff. So I just decided to get up, get the fire going, try and dry my boots out as best I can before I put them back on again. And yeah, here I am having a coffee. So my boots were barely drying at all when I had them on this rack last night. Now hanging the clothes down next to the burner has definitely dried all that lot out, but the boots weren't drying at all. So I've got this grill here, stuck it on top of the burner and perched the boots on top of it directly above it. So they seem to be making some progress now. They might actually be comfortable to put back on again, but we'll see. They'll be better than they were anyway. So I can just about see the outline of the hilltops there through the window, so the sun is definitely coming up slowly but surely. So I'm gonna go outside now, have a quick look. My boots aren't quite ready yet, but I can stand on the doorstep. So yeah, let's do it. Still looks dark out here by torchlight, but if I turn it off, you can just about see some light appearing through the cloud there, and as I said, the outline of the hilltops there, so it is definitely getting brighter. So that wasn't the most amazing time lapse of the sunrise, but it was still quite cool. I enjoyed the way it ended with all the little pink clouds. I mean, if you look up there now, it's looking quite pretty, despite not being able to see the sun. I've got my second cup of coffee on the go. The time lapse was running for about an hour. While that was running, I had a little bit of breakfast and tidied up a bit, put my bed away. So yeah, I'm on my second coffee and it's light enough to just look around now, even light enough inside. Oh, and extra bonus, my shoes are bone dry now and they were really toasty when I put them on. Anyway, one thing I didn't notice yesterday is around the back of the building is a water source, a little stream running right past the Bothy. So beautiful here. And again, how did people live here? What is this place doing in the middle of nowhere? So mad. I forgot to mention yesterday that this area was actually famous for having the last breeding pair of golden eagles in England. Now you still can find them in Scotland, but it's quite mad that there used to be one of the biggest eagles in the world flying around across these hills. Until fairly recently, to be honest. There was a breeding pair here right up until the 2000s, until the female was found dead. And the male stayed in the area for quite a while, but suddenly seemed to vanish around 2015, so he possibly died as well. Yeah, such a shame. Such a majestic bird. The 5th largest wingspan of all eagles in the whole world. So yeah, massive bird. One thing I didn't realise though until I looked into it, is that the females are much bigger than the males. Up to 37% bigger than the males apparently. So the larger wingspans are those of the females. Can get up to about 8 feet and in captivity even 9 feet apparently. Would have loved to have seen something like that flying around these hills, but sadly it's too late. Right, so it's about time I had a little look at the trail cam, see if it caught any mice. I doubt it, to be honest. It's never caught anything since I've had it. But let's have a little look. Okay, so it's saying there's 10 recordings on there. Now I did set it off a couple of times, so they're probably all me. But let's have a look anyway. Yeah, there's me. So basically everything seems to be just me milling around, forgetting that I'd set the camera up.
Unless a mouse pushes it over.
Yeah, so yeah, it's not actually 10. I think the other 3 were from the previous Bothy. So, as usual, nothing. One day I will capture something on this camera, honestly. Okay, it's 7:30. I'm all packed up, ready to hike back to the car. Got all my rubbish bagged up, and I left the last fire log for the next person. I've left the place looking lovely and tidy. As always, it's slightly better than the way I found it. I do like to give the place a little sweep. So it's time to say goodbye to Mosedale Cottage, Bothy. I really did have a peaceful night here. I just wish that I'd slept a little bit longer. One day I'll have a good night's sleep in a Bothy. I thought after the hike in I'd be so tired that I'd just conk out whatever, but yeah, it didn't happen that way. Anyway, I certainly will when I get home tonight and I'm in my own bed. So let's go. So I thought as the hike up here was a bit of an adventure, I'll say goodbye once I get back down near the car, just in case anything more exciting happens. Hopefully I won't go neck deep in a bog this time. Stick to the path. So I'm back at the scene of my bog incident yesterday, and I just noticed that it looks like there is kind of a track that goes along the fence, so I might be able to cut back round just to see if you can still see my leg holes where I had to crawl out of it. It's worth a look. Yeah, it definitely seems more solid so far. You can see now, if you stand back, that basically just looks like a big pond that's dried out to the degree that it almost looks like grass now. Yeah, I think I can see where I went in. Yeah, so I've seen the gate there, realised the path I was on wasn't going to take me there, so I've cut across here. I didn't have the camera rolling at the time. How on earth did I not realise that this wasn't solid ground? There, I think that is where I went in, and you can see where I kind of dragged myself out, and then I just crawled that way on all fours. Crazy. So yes folks, keep an eye on where you're walking in this part of the world, or anywhere like it. Yeah, if it looks well trodden, then stick to it. It may have been made by animals or humans, but either way, it was done to avoid places like this. Yes, there's the track. I'm making pretty good progress, and I'm actually able to enjoy the surroundings while I'm hiking today, unlike on the way in yesterday when it felt like a bit of an ordeal. We've made it back to the path. Just got a small river crossing to make, and the rest of it is going to be all dry land. I should imagine in the winter this is actually filled from side to side, so it would definitely be a lot less easy to get to the Bothy from this side if it was full. There's no doubt about that. I managed to get all the way from the Bothy to the path without stopping this time because the backpack is so much lighter. So it's taken me about 45 minutes to get here, because I did stop a couple of times to record and look at the bog, etc. So yeah, it's not a million miles away from the track, it's just the terrain. A lot of my hill walks have had pretty decent tracks. This certainly hasn't been one of them. It's interesting terrain, you've really got to watch where you're putting your feet. Love it there. So I made it to the top of the hill and I'm on my way down again. That wasn't a bad climb today actually, I just took it easy. Just had to stop for a minute and look at this 360 panoramic view, and I haven't seen a single soul in the entire time since I've left the Bothy. So I really am the only one out here. Makes you feel small. Okay, I can see the reservoir, so I'm almost back. It's taken a while. Once I came down over the hill, I did bump into a few people and they stopped and asked me if I'd been camping, and I had to tell them all about the cottage. And one of the guys was really interested, said he was probably going to go and check it out with some friends. It's always nice if you bump into like-minded people on the trail to have a little bit of a chat and share experiences. So that was good. Whoop. I'm very nearly at the bottom. All of this loose stuff is about to turn into a much nicer path, and the car park is going to come into view any minute now. So, managed to get back without any dramas. So, I hope you enjoyed my adventure to Mosedale Cottage, Bothy. If you did enjoy the video, then please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And also, if you're interested, you can now become a member of my channel. I've called it Becoming a Bothy Buddy. So yeah, check that out if you're interested. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.